I don't think it's playing.
It says live on your end.
I know, but
the music's not playing.
Aw, I'll have to get that fixed. I don't know what it played for us earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Bummer. Oh well, I'll show it to you later, Veronica. It's really cool. Our friend Chris Moores made us a jingle.
Yay!
Yeah. Well, for the whole channel, so not just us.
Nice.
Yeah. So, hi everybody. This is the girls from the Vibe Tribe, and we have Sean and Veronica, and I'm Shannon. Of course, Kim will be joining us. She's struggling right now with. Who knows? I don't know right now, but I'm going to send her another link once we get settled here and you guys take the floor. So we kind of just been bantering, waiting to, I don't know, come to the table. If this is like another dimension of this reality. Where's our table? I don't know. So we were talking about just a moment ago, we didn't want to like leave it. As Ed McMahon said, don't leave it in the hall. But we started to do that. There's a lot of things that are, as usual, just politically, we didn't really want to spend a lot of time or get into partisan things or anything of that nature. We're always about the love and light of humanity. But there is a lot going on, and we are in a digital, I don't want to say war, but yeah. You know, there's things that are going on that people aren't maybe possibly all that aware of. And it's, if you're really looking, or you don't even have to look that hard. And Veronica, you were saying things that you were noticing just being right on the border of Mexico and the United States. And I said, hang on, let's go live. And while you're doing that, I'll send Kim another link. So I'll let you guys take the floor. Good?
Okay. So, all right. Sean, you want to talk first? Or?
Well, I know that you were mentioning how you were seeing a lot of air traffic. If you want to reiterate.
Yes, F-16s, F-17s going off at all hours of the day and night. And I do know that there is military under Mexico that's Russian and Chinese. You know, I was going to say something. Let me know, Shannon, if this is okay or not. But the other night, well, I have not slept for more than 24 hours. But the night that I did wake up from sleep finally, I thought, okay, why is it that they want us to wear, to cover our faces? And we know we're pretty much at war with China and their AI, right? I'm thinking, okay, maybe because they don't want, because see, there is this facial recognition and all that, so maybe they don't want, in other words, they lip read. Okay, they can lip read. They can hear what we're saying, not just in our devices, but everywhere. You go to Target, you go to Walmart, even when you go American Airlines, everything is facial recognition and voice. So I was thinking about that the other night, and I was like, interesting. What don't they want us to say to the others?
Yes.
I know that for a fact they're trying to read our retina, our eyes. They're trying to scan us. And if you guys want more information, there's a book that I have. It's called The Big Nine, and that's by Amy Webb, W-E-B as in Bravo, B as in Bravo. So I just find it interesting how it's coming, well, drones are already here, satellites outside, of our homes and the trees and things like that. So it's just another way of trying to manage the public.
No, I have believed that for a very long time. So because it really takes for virus particles, as we know, especially on the virus particles that exist within the C-19, we'll just call it that. It's 27 feet. So, I mean, catching it or not catching it, if it's going to be airborne, it's going to be 27 feet. So 6 feet is, unless you're going to bury somebody, under the earth, which is a whole different density than the air. But what is needed for 6 feet is beta testing for facial recognition. So
Right.
Right. And they have the Chinese military in Canada as well.
Yes.
yes. And Michael Draco, Draco, not Draco.
We were talking about Drake earlier.
No, Jaco. He would not be happy I said that. He wasn't really sure about that one. He thought that may have been a psyops. He wasn't too sure on that one. And then also the F-16. My dad was not too sure on that. He was like, that feels flaky. Those two things feel kind of flaky. So,
you know what I find flaky though? Is that freaking, what's that thing that's like the bar that looks kind of gold, it's rectangle and it's showing up in different places? That's a shiny thing? That's a distraction. That's a distraction, guys. I just finally realized that.
I got something from somebody today, and I responded to them, and I said, there's rivets in that, like Earth human rivets. They're not just. The guy from Leak Project went and like he did several like different short videos of it. There's rivets in it. I mean, the obelisk. Yeah. What do they call it? I'll go back into the message that they sent me earlier today. It is the monoliths. The monoliths.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they're cool.
Yeah.
They're cool.
I mean, it's part of technology, but I just feel that it's a distraction for what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people are really paying attention.
Yeah, and also it's like also preparing the public, you know, when all this TikTok happened, the TikToks, by the way, are the tall whites. They, sorry, there's a private chat, sorry. So, they're basically, you know, when all this TV happened in March, the Navy went on air and said, yeah, you know, ETs, aliens do exist, they're among us, blah, blah, blah. But because they threw another spin with the CV happening in March, it's like, oh, that's like in the back burner, you know. But in the same way, this thing is being broadcasted, or, you know, it's like a test to see how people are going to react to when they're going to see the real ships, you know, when they're going to see the ones from, you know, the reptilian ones, the long ones, you know, the ones that they call the asteroid. Well, that's actually a reptilian ship that was in 2016, I think, that went through here. And then they turned off all the telescopes and things like that, you know, so that we wouldn't be able to use the telescopes because ships were going through the sun, because the sun is a portal. Anyway, I got kind of off topic, but
the sun is a portal. You said sun is a portal, but there is a central sun. So you're saying that it's a central.
Well, there's a black sun and then there's a sun. We have two suns. And the other day I was driving thinking, okay, why do they call it a dog prism? Like when you see the rainbow. And I was like, okay, they have a mirror behind the sun, you know. So if you noticed in October, the sun was not it was not shining too much heat. It was not too shiny either. It was very oculado. Lo tenían tapado. It was like really
right,
like darkened, and it was
opaque.
You couldn't breathe, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
They were saying that people were saying that was because of the fires in California.
Yeah, right. That is so totally not right.
No, I didn't think so.
No.
Like, no. You mean the fires that stopped right at the U.S. border?
Say again?
Right.
The fires that stopped right at the U.S. border?
Yeah, the fires have nothing to do with how the sun, what they're doing with the sun, you know?
Well, what they were saying is that it was getting stuck in the stratosphere, and so it was changing. It was changing how the sun looked to our eye.
No,
You know, it's
that's
causing
just,
smog or pollution.
no.
I
But people, everybody has the right to what they
Sure.
study, their opinion. But no, it's just another distraction. I mean, how many more distractions, right?
Well, I mean, you could make a case for that. That could be like one possible reason, you know, that our eye picks up on that. But at some point, you know, as time goes on, and that it still looks like that. No. And let's not forget that some of those, we were also getting evidence that there were things that were going untouched in those areas too, like that this was, you know, on fire, and this thing next to it was not on fire. Like, that's not really how forest fires usually work. So
Yeah,
people
well,
were talking about direct energy weapons.
that's what I was just gonna say. Yeah, the DE.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There's that. Those forest fires are just ripping through the area.
They're
And
done
not
on
a whole
purpose.
lot of coverage. Not a whole lot of like here. You know, you know, there wasn't like helicopters, you know, taking footage. I didn't see any of that. Did anybody else? Like,
No.
Nope.
No, and it's also part of the Big Nine. What they want to do is, like, for example, we know that California is owned by China, and New York is also owned by another corporation. I don't know which country, if it's China or another country, but they're being prepared to make smart cities, what they call smart cities. And
you mean by they're owned by China? Do you mean like a lot of the businesses?
California was sold to China. Okay. So if you guys should read this book, it's interesting. And then I was able to see the visions that we were talking about earlier, how the people that do decide to get the thing, you know, the thing or the thing,
that thing.
that they would be like, we'll say the ones that are going to be, this is my vision, the ones that are going to be able to live in these smart cities and like be more prestigious over the ones that were not taking it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to have like more resources, you know, they're going to be promised money, things like that, because a lot of people are doing, they're being what they call guinea pigs to the first round. And I know that I know a doctor for many years, for 20 years. He told me that his best friend, who's an attorney, had said that they're bringing in the H1N1 with this new vaccine. They're bringing it in to affect the lungs, and it's going to be kind of like when they were attacking the people that supposedly had the HIV/AIDS, right? Mm-hmm. So what's going to happen is also proteins are going to be spiked up. So if you're not going outside to the sun for 30 minutes a day at least, getting your vitamin D and your vitamin A, then you're going to have, people are going to have a hard time because their proteins spike, you know, especially if they have like pre-existing conditions and things like that. So
Dr. Ali Humad, am I saying his last name right? Muhammad.
I think so. Muhammad.
Yes. Dr. Ali Humad. I'm saying it wrong again. Muhammad. That you sent me his video.
Yes.
He has more than one of those too, by the way. I looked his stuff up. Amazing, especially for our more melanated friends. Like, I sent it to many people that I love, and I thought, oh my gosh, you guys, if you don't watch this, I'm going to come over and force you to watch it. You know, because it doesn't just apply to people that have darker skin tones. He also spoke to people that have lighter skin tones, and it is important that you listen to him. I was almost in tears by the time I got done listening to that. It's important that we hear people like him that are supporting the nutrition of all of us. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, the doctor that I was talking to, he said that when this all happened in March, that they were giving this paperwork where on the bottom it had like a rectangle space, and they were told that by the Federal Reserve that they would be given anywhere from 10 to 15,000 per patient if they were to write down people coming in with lung issues or anxiety to write it down as that CV, and he didn't do it. He doesn't even wear a mask. So it's like, he
Yeah.
knows, he's in the know. And he was just telling me the other day, he's like, people are freaking out left and right. And this is not right. This is pretty much just the flu,
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
well, and viruses mutate, but they also sometimes mutate as we start to resonate with each other in the population and the herd. I mean, you have the hive mind and the herd mentality, but the herd also starts to resonate with each other, and as immunity starts to grow, we also start to resonate, and so the virus might become less effective as it mutates too.
Right. Exactly.
are you guys listening to that noise?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I heard
Well,
it.
speaking some truth here.
Yes. Oh, it went away.
Well, it's because I got a little
You
alpha.
called it out.
Yeah. Demons, get out of here.
Return to sender with consciousness attached.
What can I say?
So, Sean, what are you gonna say? I talked
Sounds like, oh, okay. She's like feeling into that.
I was learning. I took notes.
about.
I did stuff to look
Aw.
up.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I was pretty quiet because I didn't have much to add to it because I have to learn some stuff first. I don't like being wrong.
Me either.
Right?
Definitely not.
Wow.
So as far
I don't
as
know that. I don't know
that
that you're.
subject,
Sorry. I'm sorry, Sean. Say that again,
I'm
please.
doing it to you.
No,
As
no,
far
no.
as that
say it again.
subject goes, I don't have a lot.
Well, some of it's just observation. It's just observation of I've seen this and I've noticed this, and it's not necessarily being wrong.
You know what
Yeah,
I did
I've
notice,
noticed a lot of the things.
Yeah.
the other night, well, last night I went on a walk jog because I just have not been sleeping well. So I said, it's too late to go to the gym. I'm just gonna go for a walk, jog, or whatever. And I noticed that when the F-16s were going off, F-17s, there were like these three right before one was coming up, because they go in pairs. So right before one was going up, there was like these three stars that are not stars, they're like satellites that would blink on and off, blink on and off. And then the first one would take off and they would blink on and off, blink on and off, and then it'd go.
Mhm.
And then the second one was getting ready to amp up. Same thing, blink, 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 three of them, like back to back. And it's funny because I'm like, okay, normally these stars or satellites, I think they're satellites, they don't blink. But once these fighter jets are going, they start. So I thought that was interesting. Last night I was like, things that make you go,
Right.
Communication happening there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also what I also notice is that when I do see the ships, the ET ships that are covered in the clouds, there will be a like either a chopper or a regular airline ship, a regular airline, avion, plane go. It's funny. It's like I see things pop off, like, and I put them on my Facebook page, and it's like, oh wow, I caught a UFO, I caught something, and then right immediately after that there'll be an airplane or a chopper or something. It's kind of interesting. And last night also, I took a video of it was already about 7 p.m. It was dark, and there was this chopper going, and I'm like, what? And there was a like a gas thing to it, like a chemtrail to it. I'm like, really? A chopper in the middle, in the dark, and it's like, and it's spraying something, or what could it be? Going in and out of dimension.
Do you think that?
Oh, we said we were gonna.
Yeah.
Do you think
Go
that
ahead.
maybe that they're doing that just so that to either so that people aren't just quite as aware that there's things happening in the atmosphere or the environment?
I feel like not only that, but I feel like they're testing the ones that we are awakened and we are actually looking up at the sky instead of looking down at the phone all the time. It's just a lot of tests going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there.
And
what are they spraying from a chopper?
Right?
Well, it's called many things. As soon as people become more aware of the term chemtrail, and start to research that, they change the term.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's called geoengineering or something like that.
Geoengineering.
Yeah, it does exist, but if you Google it,
Yeah.
the Google's not going to tell you, that's the narrative that, that's going to pop up what what the hive mind needs to know, or what, line up for the cattle car.
Yeah,
No.
supposedly they're nanites that are being thrown at our body, to make, because you can have as small as a little diamond, you can have a camera in your body.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So they're spraying the nanites to try and infiltrate us, to also spy on us, to try and manipulate us to do what they want. So that's why it's very important to eat healthy, to walk, to do something every day, to not get down and depressed as often, if we do, to get ourselves out and get a high vibrational frequency. The other night I was feeling kind of depressed, and I'm put on Michael Jackson, want to get started something. You got to get started something. You know what I mean? And I'm like, woo, I'm in my car, like vibing high, like right away. That's one song I recommend if you're
I love that song.
Like
well, somebody was questioning that. Like, gosh, that's not possible. Nanotechnology. We're not, no way. And I'm like, you have 2 dogs. How long have you been chipping dogs? Can you feel that chip in your dog? And that's rudimentary.
There's a company in Wisconsin that chipped their employees 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, really? This is super easy. And have you ever bought a bottle of booze that has the little thing that's like a sticker is slapped on your booze, and you go through the thing that they didn't like deactivate it?
Security bar. Exactly.
You can't have that laid underneath your skin. That's rudimentary, because that's what we actually have access to.
Right.
Right.
So come on.
Come on, man.
Really? So yeah, like it's mind blowing. Or have you ever accidentally shot your brother with a BB gun?
Oh my gosh, my son accidentally.
And it gets stuck under his skin. That's a BB. I didn't actually.
You opened up a can of worms.
I didn't actually, but I know people that have.
It wasn't an accident.
It wasn't me.
Sorry.
Well, when we went to the police academy, the only thing they gave us was a little helmet, and then we'd have to shoot, with paint, freaking bullets, and all they hurt. They freaking hurt. So I made sure to duck down and hide and take cover and keep shooting.
I know. These are the same people covered in tattoos, and then they say there's no such thing as nanotechnology. What? What?
I got my tattoo.
Like, you got a sleeve, man.
I got almost done with this one. Yeah, I love my sleeves. I didn't get them until I was like 42.
No, I mean
I know what you mean.
Yeah, not you. You definitely know. You definitely know.
Yeah.
But and also that these things can actually be even injected in a tiny little needle. It's super easy. And I don't know that everything is out to get us. I don't think that we're trying to say like, watch out, everything's trying to get you. No. Open your eyes that there are
Yeah.
actually things happening in your environment. That's it.
And that way
Yeah.
you can take care of yourself, you know, start drinking that, you know, tiny pinch of borax mixed with, what is it?
No, not borax. Not
Baking
borax.
powder. I
Borax.
use a teaspoon of baking powder in the water, and then I also drink apple cider vinegar with water because it's like, and then I take a bath with, you know, to get rid of all those aluminums, those metals. I take a really hot bath with baking soda, apple cider vinegar, and also Epsom salt,
Mhm.
and that helps. Sorry,
Bless your-
Shannon, go ahead.
Bless your little Spanglish heart. It's not
Yes.
borax. It's boric acid. Because borax is different. That's detergent.
Yeah, exactly. I was at the store. I'm like, borax? Wait, that's veneno. That's poison.
I always thought boric acid was poison.
She's
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
thought it was boric acid, right? Or is it borax?
It's not borax. That's like detergent.
Borax is a laundry
Yeah.
soap.
All right. Well, look it
Yeah,
up.
I'm like, I'm not gonna eat that. I was looking the other day, and I'm like, I think I got the name wrong.
I think, well, you know, I can always ask my grandma because my grandma always had boric acid for ants. She used
Yeah.
that. And she used pennyroyal to treat fleas for the dog.
Oh,
Like,
my tata too. My tata used fleet. He would like fleet the whole freaking thing for flies, and I'm like breathing that stuff, you know?
yeah, and now you cannot find it anywhere.
Right.
But I have a plant. I have 2 plants, Sean, that I'm managing to keep barely alive, by the way,
Oh, good.
because it's very,
At
very
least you're alive.
You know what works for ants? Because I have Himalayan salt in my doorway, inside and outside, under my bed, all 4 corners.
Oh,
They
can't imagine
won't
why
come
you
in.
do that.
They won't come in. They don't like it.
Can't imagine why you would do that.
Me?
She's been
You know why?
sarcastic. You know why.
I know.
Can't sell
why.
them devilish spirits that I don't need right now or ever.
Right?
Don't cross
The
that
maintenance guy,
threshold.
the other day, the maintenance guy is like, ¿Para qué es la sal? What's the salt for? Oh, you really want to know? I said, to keep out evil spirits. And then he's like, oh, but I'm good. I'm like, okay. Then you wouldn't be here if you were not good. You wouldn't step into my place.
we had a
Exactly.
discussion with Jess and I, you know, the Buddhist, you know, because he's very aware of this stuff, and he's like, I consider myself a voodoo Buddhist. He says, and you know, because it's always intention, it's always putting your prayers into these things, and if people think, we had the conversation about, you know, because there's always like where people just kind of like, you know, being in a Western society of very Christian based, that they often feel or have been indoctrinated to the ideas that their power is limited, right?
Or outside of them.
Yeah, outside of them. And so if you believe in the power of prayer, was my point, then you're a very powerful being. So it's not just limited to the time that you're praying in church. It's not. It's always intention. And so by doing that, which is a sacramental act that is special unto you, you're saying, you're not crossing this, right? You're not crossing this. You're not crossing this. You're not doing this. That's all it is. It's a blessing. And it's power. It's your power. So
that's why you got to be careful, because your tongue is a two-edged sword. So you can either, you know, develop something for greatness or tear it down. And, you know, the Phoenicians back in the day, they invented, or they twisted the English. You know, they say it's really better to speak anything else when you're, you know, trying to create something other than English, because the English language is a bunch of spell work.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to be very careful what we say and what we think, because everything starts with a thought, and then thought becomes action, and then you see it. You know the words.
Right.
Yep.
Like, I'll say to people, like, don't call that in. What are you doing?
Yeah, like,
I guess I'm trying to take your words from you. You're calling that in if you're doing that or you're saying that. Quit calling it in.
Yeah. especially negative self-talk. It took me a year to stop that. A
Yeah.
year
That's
of
hard.
me shielding all the time, saying, oh no, I'm not, I'm not fat. I'm losing weight. Like, I'm taking care of myself. I'm not ugly. I'm beautiful because I actually have, forgiven myself, or I'm working on forgiving others, or, you know, it took a good year to stop that negative self-talk in my mind. And I catch so many people saying that, like, I'm so dumb, I'm so stupid, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
They think it's a clique. Like, if like, say
Yeah.
you're with a bunch of, I don't know, I'm not talking about us right now, but like, say in the past, I was with a bunch of women, we were doing, when I was going to church prayer circle or whatever. And if one of them said, "Oh my God, like, I'm so whatever," if the other person didn't say me too, it
Yeah.
would be like you were not within that group.
Right.
Like, what do you think, you are special because you're not ugly? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean.
Or
Going with the
it's like,
bandwagon.
you're like too good for us, or
Yeah.
you're not humbling yourself, or
Mhm.
any variation of that.
Those are some awful experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And then
Especially if you are especially if you are seen as maybe clearly not that way, you should say that more to be included in the group.
Oh, really?
So like, well, yes, yes. To be honest
No
with
wonder
you.
I don't go to those particular places.
So I don't know
I'm
how to
glad
say
I
that in
don't
a super
either.
kind
Not
way.
anymore. I keep my friends circle very small and tight, because
Mhm.
I don't want to associate with people that are bringing themselves down, don't have any self-value or self-worth. I can't do that anymore. But I do counsel though. I do coaching calls
Right.
and all that stuff. But based on my experience, on what worked for me, and you will see the difference when you start, acting right for yourself and saying, wow, I have everything that I need. Abracadabra, or everything works out for me and my children. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me. If you keep your mind in certain mantras that are going to help you, you're instead of going and letting your mind wander and saying, why am I not this way, or why am I like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Give
gratitude.
yourself a pat on the back. Gratitude, yeah, exactly, gratitude.
Gratitude, self-love. If you have gratitude, that's part of being able to create the things around you. You have to have gratitude, and you have to have faith. Like, knowing inside, you just know that this is the truth that you are creating. You speak
Seeing
it,
it, right?
you
Seeing
see it, you
Mhm.
feel it, you believe it, you're grateful for it, and then it appears.
Yes, and staying away from people that say, "Oh, you're never gonna, you're this, you're that, you're never gonna, blah 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 blah." So,
Right.
staying away from those that keep you from your goals, that keep you from your because faith is seeing the things that are not as though they were. That is the definition of faith. So it's very important for us to see what we want for our lives and our children's lives, and our friends, right, our family. But for us first, that way you can manifest it, and they're going to see a change in you. So
So I wanted to let you guys know that somebody that seems to, I don't know, find our podcast, his name is Mario, and he's from Malta. And so I said, "There's sweet Mario. He's tuning into us. Say hello to Mario from
hola,
Malta."
Mario.
Hi, Mario.
He said, "Hi, ladies."
Okay.
He always brings great things to the conversation too.
Cool.
So yeah. All right, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, it's okay. What else does Mario say? Any questions or comments?
Hi, ladies. Positive. That's all he said so far. So far.
I'm happy that somebody's watching.
Yeah. I mean, you know where Malta is, right? It's like off of the Italian boot. Like it's a island. Or
Yeah.
Italy.
What time is it over there? Like 10, 11 p.m. or?
What? He'll maybe tell us. What time is it, Mario? Maybe there's no delay. I don't know.
Maybe.
I have another friend that lives over there, Suzanne. She's beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
I went to Venezia, Italia, and Rome about 4.5 years ago. It's beautiful. Oh, somebody's at the door. I wonder who it is. One moment.
You want me to turn off your camera?
Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead. Me, it's a neighbor.
All right. Let me know when you're back. All right.
There we go.
Mario did ask a question. How do you think society should empower more women? Well, and it's 7 p.m. We'll have to tell Veronica when she gets back.
Yeah.
Well, since it's the rise of the divine feminine, as we know, right, with the age of Aquarius, I think men being, gosh, that's a big question.
It is.
I think we do that together. I think men coming in and healing themselves and understanding their boundaries and healing their divine masculine heals the divine feminine. That's what I think. That's how we empower women.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How do you like them apples, Mario? Oh, we have a friend.
Nice.
I hope she probably doesn't even know she's on camera right now. Well, not on here, but on the other side. What would you say, Sean?
How to empower women?
How do you think society should empower more women?
Okay. That's a difficult one. I personally see it as a thing that you give to yourself. So, like, I empower myself. I empower other women around me.
Yes.
I think, I do the same thing for men and children too.
Yes.
Because everyone should know their own power and exercise it while they still can.
That society. I think it's a very individual. I think it's a very individual thing. I think he's asking about society, but I think as a whole, men that's that energy. Men heal that divine masculine. That's how you do it. Take charge. That's that energy. Move forward. Heal that.
Yeah, everyone just needs to heal themselves, and then we'll have a healthier society.
Yep. Work on the boundaries. Work on those things that are that we seem to cycle back around and around and around. Do your work.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This has been a great year for it too. I mean, with everything being shut down.
We all been on timeout in our own rooms.
Certainly have had the time to put into it. That's for sure. There's not a whole lot of excuse for not doing the work on yourself and the research to see what's really going on around you.
Yeah. Mario says equality is his answer. Yes, but oftentimes, as he probably, well, at least in the United States, so a lot of people forfeit them whatever equality means to them. They forfeit things.
Respect.
they forfeit all kinds of things to those interpersonal relationships. So what does equality mean? I have no idea. It's very.
I think it means you have to respect that there are people too and a part of the same consciousness as you are.
There she is.
Yay, it was my neighbor. She brought me a blouse.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a surprise because I always give food to my neighbors. I have so much that when they, I get the food box and I distribute to all my neighbors, and so she was just appreciative, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. I get to wear it Saturday for the next show or next Thursday.
That's awesome.
It's 7 p.m. there where Mario is.
Oh, 7. Okay.
Sweet Mario.
That's nice.
Oh, so he also asked, he asked us a question. He said, how do you think society should empower more women? And I'm going to turn my camera off because I need to blow my nose.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I would say, well, first of all, stop talking bad about each other as women, as a whole, like they say, backstabbing. If you don't know the whole truth about that person, I would go directly to that person instead of starting the rumors, right? Because you're spelling, you're putting spells on them, and they can have a bad day, and they're like, why am I having a bad day? And they don't know, especially if they don't know how to protect themselves. So I would say just go directly to the woman when you have a question or an issue instead of talking crap about them.
Right. Yeah.
And helping one another. Like the other day, my friend, she said, so how are you doing with your readings? And I said, oh, I have a few here and there. And then I say, but what happens is I'll do readings and then they become my friends. It's so cool, especially females and males too, they become friends, and I don't want to charge them after that. They become friends. And she's like, yeah, but you're the restaurant. Would you go and eat free at your friend's restaurant? And I'm like, well, no, I would at least give them a tip or pay for my meal, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you're like a restaurant that your friends should be able to give you, a tip, or like say, I'm going to give her like a monthly or whenever, it doesn't have to be set in stone, but and I thought about that, and I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We should help each other more.
Yeah. It's probably more and more.
When
you're resonating more and more with people that are at your level, of awakening and awareness. That discernment is probably going to get more and more clear, especially as people start to awaken, because those skills are needed desperately.
True.
Yeah.
How about Sean? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, Sean was gonna say, how can we like empower each other as women, or women in general?
I said that we all need, that I believe that it comes from within. I touched a little bit on helping each other, and that we have to respect each other, that we're all from the same consciousness. What else did I say?
Listening to each other more, to me, I don't know if it happens to you all, but like I automatically want to offer a solution, and lately I've been like, when my friends call, I let them vent, because when I want to vent, I don't want nobody to give me a solution. I just want to be listened to, and that's one thing I'm learning. To listen more.
Yeah. Yep. And not offer, or just ask more questions and not offer a solution. Yeah. I said that the best way to empower women is to heal the divine masculine in.
Definitely, yes.
Because we rise together.
Yes. Because we're supposed to be the pillar of the masculine. We're supposed to be their backup, pretty much, and he's
they're our backup,
caregiver, and all that.
They're our backup.
We are.
Yeah.
I'll be your 84. I'll be your Huckleberry.
That's right. Be my wingman. I don't sit no backseat to nobody. Oh, you were funny. But yeah, I mean, there's always a balance, or there should be, right? There should be a balance in equality. He says equality, and I think he's right. But how do we get there?
You know what I was thinking about last night also, because I hadn't slept. I think a lot. What if?
No way.
What if? Yeah. I was thinking, okay, there's nothing wrong with the male taking, like, if the male says that, he wants to stay home with the kids and be, the parent and clean and cook for the female. The female's out, has this
Sure.
nice badass job, or whatever we're gonna call it, this career.
Sure.
In my culture, it's looked down upon, and I was thinking the other night, I don't see anything wrong with that. What happened to Shannon?
She went out again. I don't know. She must be doing
I was
something
putting on
she
lip
didn't want
gloss.
to see. What were you saying?
The girl thing.
My lips were chapped.
Just that I don't see anything wrong with the male taking the role of the female, like they say, taking care of the kids and cleaning and cooking for the feminine, we'll say. And I don't like to generalize male, female, because we have a broad spectrum. We have masculine living together, feminine living together, but it's just we all have, we all come in with 50-50 masculine and feminine, but just some have more of the other. I'm not doing that generalization. I'm just saying, in my culture, if the Hispanic male wants to go stay at home, or doesn't want to work, or rather take care of the kids, it's looked very down upon. It's frowned upon. It's like, you're not man enough, you're pretty much, there's a saying in Spanish, you're kissing the woman's skirt. That translates to that. You're being a llorón, you're crying about things and not being man and going and earning a living and being strong, and you know what I'm saying? So we're going to see a lot of that happening now. More of the females going out, and it has nothing to do going out to work. It has nothing to do with the feminist movement either. I don't agree with all of that either.
No.
We have to build each other up, Women have to stop talking crap about the men, because they don't know what men go through with their buddies over there trying to be strong and faithful to women, to their wife or their partner.
Exactly.
They're not seen as a good old boy if they don't go cheating on their wife on lunchtime, or whatever you want to call it, or the strip club. You know what I'm saying?
I see a very empowered masculine man as a man that's able to nurture his family.
Yeah.
Whatever that means for him. That's what I see as an empowered man. So whatever men think that looks like, if that looks like being a, quote unquote, a womanizer, that's not attractive to me.
No.
At all, by any stretch. Or being over sexualized. That's not attractive.
No, it's like, I don't want to go to bed with somebody that has all these demons inside, because then they're projected on. Oh, heck no. No, it's I think it's very empowering to to see a female say no to sleeping around with anybody, because of those demons, because of the DNA goes to the female, vice versa. And then you wonder why you're so depressed the next day, or you get flat tires in a week consecutively, because you're sleeping with this man that has all these other women that he's sleeping with and all these demons, So it's like, and not only that, the STDs. Don't get me started. I just see that it's very respectful for when a woman or a man says no to sleeping around. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, I understand there's chemistry and stuff like that could happen, but when you stand your ground as an enlightened female and say, no more, no more to being taken advantage of, no more than me and being lustful. Wow.
Yeah.
Be
Sure,
gone,
there
demon.
was consciousness attached.
Now it's gone.
Oh,
All right. So
excuse me about
that worked.
It did.
Yeah. So Mario says, I sort of use the motto, treat women like you want your mom or your sister to be treated. And I think that's awesome that he uses that. But unfortunately, I have known some men that do not even treat their mother or their sister well. So, it depends on I don't even say the culture, but I can't even go that far, but maybe the family in which you're raised, because you can be, I don't know, I don't want to use inappropriate words. You can be just really rude to the, female gender, even. Anyway, I don't want to make generalizations. So yeah, I've seen that even towards sisters and mothers as well.
Yeah.
So.
There's a lot of people that don't have the respect for themselves, let alone anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how could we expect them to treat anyone else well? But fear might keep them in line with another male that might seem more dominant to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And who treats people with respect. Hopefully.
He then asked, why do you think there's so much divorce and separation?
Right.
Well, I think that first, should I talk first on that?
Sure.
I think that marriage by a legal faction is just that. And so then, which is kind of binding and kind of is good, because people should take it seriously because it is a commitment. But I guess that's as far as I was going to go with that. I need to,
you know what?
think about it a little bit more.
I have 2:20 p.m. and 22%, so keep talking.
Oh.
Integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People don't have as much of it, and the moral character to desire to have integrity. Like when you make a commitment, you need to have the moral integrity to see the importance in keeping it. Like
the honoring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like your word is your worth. If your word means nothing, then so do you. I don't know.
Well,
right.
We do have the right to change our mind.
Well, you change your mind, but you vowed. It depends on what.
Did I just throw you a curveball?
It depends on what happened to change your mind.
Yeah, and I think that's probably dependent on everybody, because if you're not happy and it's not healthy, and there's a threshold for everyone,
Oh, I know the answer.
Okay.
So, because we were just starting to touch on it there. So before entering into that vow, we don't have a culture that teaches us to seek the answers to the proper questions. Like, okay, so there's deal breakers that make you change your mind about being with this person for the rest of your life. We we need to know what those are in advance as much as you can possibly think of it. I mean, you have to actually think about that. You have to talk with the person and get to know them on a really deep level. And that's not a sexual level. That's, if we had children together, do you believe in spanking? How would you
Yes.
do this? How would you do that?
I'm kidding.
You know what I mean? From the simple little things to the bigger things. You have to have those conversations before you get into the situation where you make that commitment to that person. Like, do you think it's okay to go to a strip club if you're married? What, I mean, if for this woman that would be a problem, then she shouldn't be with a man that thinks that that's okay. Because that's going to be a problem.
I don't personally really think it's all that great for anybody to go to a strip club because you're objectifying people.
Well,
That's somebody's mother, that's somebody's sister.
But that's just an example.
And it's unfortunate that they're in that situation, but
yeah.
But well, I here we go. So I didn't know when I'm not married anymore, so I didn't know that he had gone to a strip club the night of our wedding till a year later, when his best friend and the couple that was our best friend told me. I was devastated. Wow. I was crying.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and I finally went to a strip club last year because my friend started dancing. And I felt so awkward. I cried and I made a video on it. And then of course I felt dumb and I shouldn't have felt that way. And I took it off because I was literally crying, thinking, wow, like these men can actually have sex with the women in a strip club.
Really? I didn't know that.
They just have to pay them extra. They go to a room and have a private dance and it's up to the dancer how far the man can go.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was crying for a long time and I really don't need to go to a strip club anymore. It was a one-time experience and it's just to support my friend. But it's like, wow.
It's the same way with the females.
I've never gone to see men, do a strip thingy or whatever they call that. I've never had a private dance, you know what I mean, as far as male. But that's beside the point. I think to me, it was just, I never thought that he would do that, and it's as simple as simple as that. And there's a lot of temptation out there and to each its own. I'm not judging, but because Sean brought it up, it did affect me. It did.
It does. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I have an ex that did that too. So, okay. I mean, that's why it popped into my mind as an example.
we teach on our life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and we can look at the history of the marriage union as being part of religion. It really wasn't recognized by Christianity or the Catholic Church until pretty far into Catholicism. We can look at that. So that gives us some indication that it really wasn't something that was part of the sacraments for a while, how much weight you give that, but it can give you some indications of where you want to put your head around it. It's all valuable.
But at the same time, Shannon, I do understand that, and it has a lot to do with programming. Like, you're sinning, you heathen, you're sinning, But there are marriages that do profit from going to a strip club together, because they do talk about it. But and it helps their sex life too. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that for me, it's not something that I want to keep doing or have. I don't know if I'm ever going to get married again. I think I'm just going to be alone because I'm so happy being by myself.
Do you think that,
Yeah.
that's helpful, or do you think it's a shortcut to right now rather than actually healing what has been damaged in their ability to embrace their own sexuality?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually learned a lot and healed a lot, and I was able to embrace my sexuality even more so by
Sure.
doing that. But yeah, I feel that it has a lot to do with just the male ego. Like, I could get away with this, temptation. In the good old boy club, and they want to be accepted so much that they don't even want to look at their own sexuality. I'm getting an echo.
So, my lovely late husband, one of the stories that one of his friends told me at his funeral was that their mutual friend, what they had his bachelor party, or part of it was at a strip club. And his friend told me that he showed up and Steve was outside, and he's like, "Dude, what are you doing out here?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't, I have a wife and daughter at home. I know that he's having a good time. He's getting ready for his wedding, but I'll just wait till we're done and we go on to the next place." And he's like, "Well, why aren't you in there?" And he's like, and my late husband Steve said, "Well, I can't not think about that. They're, that's somebody's sister, that's somebody's niece, that's somebody's mother." That's what my husband told his friend.
He had morals. Well, he actually was good without having to see that, without having to participate in that. He was still man enough. He was still man enough to say no thanks. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have to go with bandwagon and prove his manlyhood, I guess you can say. Or
Oh no,
that's awesome, man. I kudos to him, wherever he may be now. But
well, he's out there.
He gave no value to that man card.
right,
No,
right.
He didn't
Or the
feel
hall
like
pass.
that was.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. I don't think he felt like that was a man card thing. That wasn't.
No. It's more of a man card thing to be able to just say no thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That it was almost a dishonor to say yes.
It was to say yes. It would be to disrespect women. For him.
Yeah, I mean, he was also the youngest of 3 older sisters, and so I think that
there was a lot of women that he did love and respect in his life.
Yeah, they trained him well. But and he also spent 7-8 years in the Navy, so that
may have already had his fill with that.
Yeah, so I don't
Maybe
know.
he got it out of his system back then.
But he recounted a lot of the stuff from the Navy, and he said that stuff really bothered him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and especially overseas, that stuff is
major.
Yeah, especially surrounding a base. Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, I was gonna add to something, and I don't remember what it was.
Do you want to think about it for a minute?
Go ahead, Chuck.
Last time I talked to Veronica, we were talking about writing down dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So that night, I had a dream, and I wrote it down. Yeah. I was in a box, and I had to create different designs out of whatever I could manifest to make a top to the box, like a cage. To make a top to, and if I did a good job, then it would dissolve the box. I had a sense that he liked and or what he liked and what he disliked about each attempt, and would start over and over again. Yeah. And then I took notes about how I felt. My left nostril was irritated. I was tired. I went to bed at 3:30 a.m. and I woke up at 7:30 a.m. Fell asleep for 10 minutes and then woke back up. Wrote down everything and did not get a nosebleed that day though. It was weird.
That's wild.
I'm glad you didn't get a nosebleed.
Not that day.
It seems like you were like stuck in a loop, trying to relive something over and over. Obviously. Oh, you were okay. So the challenge was to go to the next screen to get out of the dream, so that way you didn't have to go back and do that mission over again. You found your screen, in other words.
Oh,
The next screen.
right.
Wow. Do you recall how old you were in that dream? Like, how did you feel? Like, what age? In other words, you learned your lesson.
I don't know how old I felt. I never considered how old I felt.
Mm-hmm. When you're in your dreams, try and see if there's a mirror anywhere so you can see yourself. Even if there isn't a mirror in your dream, just see yourself. Like, go up and then see yourself. Yeah.
The other thing is if you have like tactile sensitivity, like you can smell or touch or taste anything, that it's actually your astral projecting, and so you don't have to be. You actually, like Veronica's saying, like you have some direction, so you can guide yourself through it.
In my dreams, if I'm having a really bad nightmare, or if, most of the time they're chasing me to kill me, like we talked about, Sean.
Yes.
I will find a mirror, or I'll see a double door, and I will see myself through it, and I'll leave that dream state and either wake myself up here. I'll tell myself, I want to go home, I want to go home, I want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Home meaning my bedroom where I sleep, my portal, like they say. And I'll wake up. I'll make myself wake up. And that's why it's so hard for me to sleep, because as soon as I'm going down to sleep, these people either are, hey, come over here with us, or there's kids, come over here. Or right away I'm in a bus or a shuttle or a ship. Let's go. And it's like, no. I wake myself up when I don't have that peace, that frequency of these people, will say, in my dreams, and I'll wake myself up. And that's why it's really hard to sleep, because I have learned to wake myself up from dreams and use portals such as the sun, the mirror, or just glass. Hope that helps.
Mirrors are a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be able to rewind them and change them and alter them because it was my dream.
That's awesome.
Well, yeah.
That.
A dragon taught me that when I was a kid, though.
Ooh.
Was it Puff?
Pardon?
Was it Puff?
No, it was this big, huge dragon that at first I thought was evil. He came in and he started our house on fire, and then he went to eat my stepbrother. And
did your house really catch on fire though?
No, it's in the dream.
Okay.
And then this is when I first met him, and he tried to eat my stepbrother, who was abusing me, and
maybe you should have let him.
I thought about it, and I've thought about that since too. But I told the dragon to put him down. I said, "Give me my brother back," and he listened to me. And then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, this thing has to listen to me." And I realized that I was a powerful being.
Mhm.
And
it's an aspect of you. It's a
Yes.
yeah, well, I was like, so then I started being friends with this dragon. I would ride him all over the universe.
well because it's a not a virtue. Well, it's a virtue. The dragon is you.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's part of your personality. So it's just a visual manifestation of part of your personality.
There was a
Which is why over many we've been able. Anyway, I'm just going to bypass some of that. But yes, that's you.
there were a lot of abuses. That's probably why I would want to burn the house and
Sure.
have a
Let's
giant
burn it all
monster,
down.
have a giant monster eat a couple of people from there.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
I have 6 dragons that are with me all the time. So it's interesting. I don't know if I said it on this show or another show. My friend.
Isn't that funny how people like naturally, that's part of, if they're very strong personalities, that they'll naturally have dragons. That's very common.
Is it?
About that. Yes. I mean, think about the people that we know. They'll refer to a dragon. My dad will even tell me to rein him, and he's told me that for a long time. Rein in your dragon. You're going to burn the whole village. And that was before that was before I ever talked about this kind of stuff, or it was basically him telling me to chill my ass out. Because, I just got going and, was all fired up, and yeah, because he just saw that energy, and it's just your solar plexus is big and you have a lot of protection, a lot of warrior energy. That's all it is. That's what it is. And it manifests into its own, your own mental or imagery idea of what that persona is dragon energy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I interrupted you, Veronica.
Oh, no, it's okay. My friend, my SSP sister and friend, she was doing a visual etheric cleansing on me, and she said, "Oh, I see 6 dragons, and they're like the Borealis colors." Yes. Like, wow, like you actually saw them, and I never told her about them. Like,
are they all that color, or they each have like a color of the Aurora Borealis?
She saw them all like the Aurora, but I actually they're all different. One of them is like all the rainbow. There's a black one, there's a red one, there's a white one, there's a yellow one, there's a blue one. So
nice.
Yeah,
it's interesting that she saw that.
Yeah.
And before I went to bed, like I wanted to find out. This was like a few months ago, like maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I said, I want to see what one of my dragon looks like. I want to talk to it. And it was beautiful. It was huge. I woke up and I saw it right before I woke up. It was white and kind of gooey and shiny, like diamondy. And sticky. It was going.
Do you have a moist dragon?
Huh?
It's a winter dragon.
A what?
A moist dragon?
Yeah, like that. It was cute. It was ferocious. It was
they're a winter dragon.
Like, oh shit, oh shoot,
Did it look like me?
Yes. Ferocious. And I just thought it was so cool. Because at first he startled me, and then I'm like, oh wow, it's beautiful.
Really? It's a he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Some are he and some are she.
Okay.
Yep. Mine's a he.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The one I seen in 2019 in the summer come out of a portal in Hamlin Lake was, I guess, an air dragon because he was translucent. It was
You
really
guys are
strange.
doing stuff.
It was really strange. Well, I took my kayak, my cousin and I, we went kayaking. We went to this island on this lake. And we were just chilling on the little beach on the island and, burning sage and meditating and whatnot. And
Oh, I'm sure you were.
it was, nope, she's just sage. And,
I'm gonna burst into
I'm sorry.
I seen where the water now this is a 1,000-acre lake. It's an inland lake. And I seen where the water had this what do they call it when the waves crest and it's white?
white caps.
Yeah, white caps. There was these white caps, but they weren't moving across the lake. They were just in this one location.
Oh,
And it was like continuously rolling in this one location. And I'm like going, what the heck is going on over there? And we seen a mostly translucent, you could kind of see it, dragon come out. And that water was like that because of him coming out.
Ooh.
it was the Loch Ness monster of Hamlin Lake.
No,
the
it
Nessie.
flew away.
Wow.
It flew.
That's beautiful.
You saw the Nessie.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's for horses.
look.
Ooh. That
Nice.
is so cool. I
Is
like
that for light and sage?
You can light whatever you want.
I guess you could.
Nice blowtorch you got there. That's nice. I want one now.
That is cool.
Family farm and fleet or something.
Really?
Get one.
Okay.
And you can refill it.
Ooh.
Nice. That'd be
But-
a good gift for my daughter.
I was told not to discuss my dragon.
Well, come on. Nobody owns you. You can talk about whatever you want.
Well, I do. Like, I know her name and everything.
Nice.
I'll talk to her.
You can talk to her. You can talk to her. You're a part of the Vibe tribe.
Yeah. Sorry,
So-
my cat's like playing with me right now. I'm like, seriously?
That's okay. That's really cool.
Ooh, I have 5% battery. I
So
better-
divorce and separation. Oh, you better plug in. So divorce and I want to kind of go back around to that a little bit. And people change. People either grow separate or they grow apart. And I don't think that there's necessarily any gold medals. But I think that when we look about human history, part of it is part of our world was eventually, or at one point in time, we lived a lot longer, and then we lived until we were like, I don't know, 30. And so we had a very short life, and we didn't have to make that long a commitment. So things have changed as a species over time. So to apply the same kind of rules might be a little unfair. That's all I'm saying. That's the first thing I was going to say. I wanted to circle back around to that. And the other part of that is not every culture thought of marriage and or had the same type of marriage expectations or that sort of thing the same. They just didn't. So there's that throughout history. And right or wrong, they just didn't. And then Mario also asked, why do you think most men, do you think most men being portrayed as cheaters is fair? I always believed in one woman. I don't know.
No,
I don't know that I believe that.
I think that
Maybe
anytime
single
you
men.
bundle, I think anytime you bundle a group together as being one thing, like bundling a group together and they're cheaters.
You know,
That's not right.
Yeah, he's single, so I wonder if that's his perception because that's what he's hearing, you know. So I would that's what he's hearing. So that would be his perception, you know.
I think a better
I would,
question might be why are you attracting women that think that most men are cheaters?
oh, chew on that, Mario.
I think that it would be a better question for him to ask.
Or he could turn that
For
around
himself.
on them.
For
He could turn
himself.
that, yeah, but he could also turn that around on them and ask them, why do you always run into men that are cheaters?
Yeah, why are they attracting cheaters? Exactly. Yeah.
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 So
And that might help them heal themselves. Mhm.
right. Yeah, I guess I didn't I don't believe that.
Nope. Every individual is an individual.
But
Like,
there again, I guess I am from a family that, I mean, I have, you know, my fair share of complaints, but that would not be one of them. So
no.
there's that. So I hope that answers your question there, Mario. Sure like him.
Yeah, at least we're getting questions from someone.
Yeah, I'm not getting all the questions, so feel free to go on like my page. I think something's amiss here. Something's happening. So
Yeah, I'm not seeing them either. I wonder if I should. Oh, I just plugged it in the
that
other room. So I can't see it anymore.
oh no.
My phone, that is. To
There's
be able to pull it up.
there's Veronica's neck.
Sorry, I think it has to do. I'm trying to plug in here and I can't plug it in my desk, so I'm gonna have to sit on my bed or something. But I think it also has to do with abandonment issues, how people cheat. Abandonment issues since childhood, you know.
But they also cheat so that if they fear abandonment as well. People always will also cheat because
Yeah, they're like, I'm gonna cheat first before this fool cheats on me. You know what I'm saying?
Or-
So
or
well,
it'll
maybe
be like, I'm gonna line somebody up.
Whenever
Whenever
you fear something so much, you cause it to happen. Have you noticed that?
Can you repeat?
If you fear something so much, you usually end up causing it to happen.
Yeah.
Whatever it is
True.
you're fearing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys see
yelling about the demons to be gone? They leave.
Yeah, they have to because we have the right to be here too.
Yeah, that's just crazy that it'll just do that.
We're higher than they are.
Because they know we know who we are.
Yeah. We have that power. It was given to us.
Well, I just thought it maybe was
claimed it.
Claim it and own it and act upon it and believe it.
Yeah. So, well, what do we want to talk about? What else do we want to talk about, ladies? We've been all over the place. We been kind of waiting for Kim, but I think she's gone to work now.
Yeah, she's probably at work.
Anything else that we want to discuss? I feel like we only get like this time once a week. So,
right.
Oh, Mario says he doesn't. He says I don't fear it.
Doesn't fear what?
He doesn't fear the cheating.
Oh, that's good. If he does not fear the cheating, that's good because he's settled in his own self.
Abandonment. He does.
Oh, okay.
Abandonment.
That's good. Then that means he's worked on some issues.
Well, his question was, do you think most men Do you think most men being portrayed as cheaters is fair? That was his question.
Oh no, because some women can also be portrayed as cheaters. Most women.
Yeah. But you know what I was saying to Sean when you were plugging in was, I don't think that.
I don't think that either. I was though raised with that. I was raised by my mom telling me that all men are cheaters, and it was a program that I had to finally, I would say, 2 years ago, I was finally free from that because not all men are the same.
No.
Right.
Not all men are cheaters, you know. Not all men are wife beaters, like they say. I was in a bad relationship like that. So you gotta come into your own power and oh Shannon,
Okay.
Well, I don't want to just turn my camera off and not tell you this time.
thanks.
You're welcome. Sean, did you make notes about anything that's going on that you want to bring to the table? And I'll listen because I won't be far.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't have notes, but things going on, current events. Everything seems to be about the election. I seen where they found Mark Zuckerberg put $500 million into the election.
Wow.
There were 5 cities in Wisconsin. There's some in Michigan, and all the suspect places.
You know, they also said something about Arizona too, that there was voter fraud here in Arizona.
Yes, yes. And I watched the witnesses that came forward in Arizona as well. I watched that. It was like 3 hours and 40 some minutes long.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it took
That's a
up a
lot.
day. It was a lot. But he paid for those drop boxes in particular areas for the mail-in type of ballots, and absentee ballots is what they call it. Anyway, there was a lot of private money that went into it. That's out. In Antrim County, Michigan, they were able to do a forensic analysis on. I first heard it was 22 Dominion machines. I've also heard 18 and 16, so whatever number's right. So they did their forensic analysis. Benson, what's her first name? She tried blocking the results of it from being. She asked the judge to put a gag order on it. She's done a lot of things that are opposite of open and transparent. She's threatened. Oh, they did get a judge to allow them to release it though, so that information is available. She's threatened attorneys that help people sue the Michigan government. She's threatened the Michigan attorneys to have them looked into for the ethics committee or whatever. And she's definitely suppressing people. We have a very deep state in Michigan.
Mhm.
It's there's 3 women at the top at the Capitol that are not, well, they're tyrants.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gretchen Whitmer and Yeah, I have heard that. I haven't been able to confirm it, whether or not Gretchen worked for Soros prior to being our governor. It's hard to find the information on that. And that was early on. I stopped trying. I should try it with Dr.
You know what I found weird was, I don't know what that noise is, but what I found weird was the other day, so my daughter voted, right? And then a week ago she gets this thing in the mail saying that they need to verify her signature, that she has to restate what party she's voting for and things like that. I found that so strange here in Tucson, Arizona. I was like, okay,
That is
that's
weird.
right. Shannon.
That's funny. That is weird. Like, I would want to know if that's even legit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course they need to do signature verification, but isn't that what they're supposed to do when they have
Before.
both a Democrat and a Republican sitting there with them?
That's crazy
Oh
because
yeah, they locked out the Republicans.
Mhm.
Yeah. I watched a video and nobody's it up. I seen a video the night of the election. I was watching a live of people that were in, what is that? The 3 letters of that place in Detroit where they were. It's like 3 letters, the name, what they call the place where they put the pizza boxes on the windows and stuff. Anyway, that place.
It used to be Cobo Roof.
I don't know what it used to be. I wouldn't know. I don't hang out in that city. But
I used to work downtown. I used to work there like a block.
Video, really. I seen in the video, the live video, this woman, she was live streaming because everything that was going on, they knew it was wrong. So she put it on live stream. And I seen the police officers, they were either police officers or security because they were dressed like police officers. I couldn't read the badge to know for sure.
Or hired help, because a lot of them were hired to be fake police officers, acting as.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I couldn't read the badge, so I don't know if they were actually police officers, but they looked like police officers. And they were in the room and they ordered all Republicans to leave. They said all Republicans have to leave this room now. All of them.
That's so racist.
I remember thinking to myself, well, why would I tell you whether I was a Republican or not then?
Yeah, I thought that was supposed to be private, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that. How does that work?
Yeah, like, but the thing is that most Republicans are law-abiding citizens. So they're like, oh, I'm a Republican, I better leave, you know? It's like, what?
I'm not registered. I'm a registered voter, but I'm not either.
I didn't register as either one either. I'm like, no, that's none of your business. And one year I might like the Democrat better than I like the Republican. It depends on the individual.
Right. Is that the lawyer from was that the video from the lawyer from Texas?
No, this was a live the night of the election. Some woman that was there.
Okay, yeah, that's one. I saw that too.
Nobody ever mentions that. They talk about the F word that we're not allowed to say.
What?
I'll type it in for you.
Oh.
Most people already know it.
Are you saying a swear word?
It's not a swear word.
Most people know it. Apparently not me.
It's not a swear word, but if you mention it on a couple of sites, you'll get banned.
Voter.
Yeah.
That
one.
Yeah. With a hard D.
Yeah.
Starts with a
Yeah, we're not allowed
that
to
word.
say that.
Okay.
But when I see all these things about it, they never bring up that those people were literally kicked out by what appeared to be officials.
So, Mario would like to know what we think of Trump.
Oh, let's just put that out.
Well, I
I'm
think
grateful to him.
I like that he's not a career politician and that he's not, as far as I can tell, not owned by anyone. So that I like. So if that's what we're going on, you know, great. That's fantastic. That's what we want. We want somebody that's going to be for the American people. Is he
Right.
perfect, and has he been perfect for his entire life?
No.
Show me somebody that has.
Right.
I just wish that he would disclose more of the SSP and not the new secret space program, but the one that has been
Do you
that
think
we've
it's
been
the
a
right
part of for
time?
years.
I would like.
He's
That would be
got
great.
some really huge, very prominent, important battles right now because okay, what's
He did
going on
talk about that though, Veronica, a little bit, and he
a little
messed
bit.
around with it with the son.
He has to consider what people are ready for, and he also has to consider the enemy that's trying to take over the entire world right now.
But I don't
Exactly.
think that I don't think it's just him though. I mean, really, he's got a
He's got a team.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's listening to his advisors. I mean, he's not doing it all on his own.
no.
I mean,
He's got a lot. He's got a lot of work he's got to do, but you know, maybe if he gets the next 4 years, he'll be able to get to it. But
it's just like any other big organizations that you're a part of, that you know the ambiance of it comes down from the top, right? So if they set that stage of this is how it's going to be, because this is how I like to play my tune, everybody's going to fall in sync, right? They're the maestro, right?
well,
That's it.
normally, but
Conductor.
that's only if you're a part of their clique,
What?
because they're the opposite of that with Trump. Most of them.
Well,
You know
I mean,
the
what's
World
doing with
Economic
Trump?
Forum, how they meet on a regular basis, the World Economic Forum. Trump went in
Yeah.
there because this is where they discuss, of course, because this is where the money is. This is where they discuss bringing about the Great Reset and and the other stuff going on, like the New World Order and everything. And they want to do the mega cities and all that stuff. And the Agenda 2030, 2020, 2050, they
Mhm.
all of that, the Green New Deal, all of it. So the World Economic Forum. I watched it. You can watch this stuff. You can find it if you look for it. He basically told those world leaders, those elitists, that the American people, and I can't quote verbatim, but he basically told them that we're free. We're not for sale. And he's going to protect us. He's going to protect our country. He's not going along with their narrative. And they've been against him, hard set against him ever since. And the CCP is the ones that are controlling our information through the mainstream media.
And I've heard both. I've heard that, and I've heard Russia. So I don't And Veronica, you think it's CCP too?
I've heard
It is.
Russia too. But then
It is.
again, I mean, the US and Russia are allies, so
Yeah, it's not Russia. That's a lie from the left. They keep wanting to blame Russia because they don't like
yeah, it's not
their
Russia.
precious CCP, their precious China Communist Party to be implicated for anything. And they just keep trying to distract us to get, oh, look over here, instead of seeing the
Yeah.
truth over here.
Yeah, the war is pretty much with China. You know, we know that. But like you said, they keep distracting.
But didn't he go to China and I'm going to use the wrong.
They're also mad. China is also mad because, you know, he's trying to make more, instead of using China for foreign stuff, you know, he went to Mexico, and he also wants to do more here, things that are made here in the US.
Well,
Yeah, for our economy.
What it is Clinton owed the China the reserves some money, and instead of paying with gold, I think it was tungsten that he coated gold with something, you know, that wasn't real gold that he was paying China with. And so you know, they're calling in, China has been calling in what all these presidents have not paid. And so there's a war because the US didn't pay when they were supposed to pay in gold. You know, certain presidents didn't keep their end of the bargain.
Oh.
And so now due is here, you know, it's being called.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a lot. I posted something on my Facebook that Penny Bradley shared, and I just find it very interesting. And I knew this whole thing was about China. And it, you know, there's this funny kind of like meme we'll say on YouTube where it's President Trump going China, 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 and everybody's laughing. They don't even get it, but he speaks in code. So it has everything, if not everything, to do with with China. And then of course, you know, it's just a lot. Then we have you know, the surveillance from them, WikiLeaks, you know, they were surveilling us through our JVC or the LG TV, listening to us. That's why I cover my camera on my phone. They already listen to me as it is. They don't need to see me when I'm taking a shower or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, or having, or being with family. I tell my kids that. I tell my family members. They're always, you know, selling our information, even our DNA, to others. So
I expect it to get to the point where I'll be leaving the phone at home when I leave the house.
Yeah, that way they don't track you. But then again, they have the drones out there in the trees and right here. And some people can't see them. I can see them through my eyes. It's weird. And it's even if you take pictures, you'll see them in the trees. You know,
I hear them.
Yeah, you can hear them as well. At night, it's so funny. I'm like, really? Is that a bird chirping? No. You know?
No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So we're being surveilled. Huh?
Well, I guess I've noticed it this year. I was like, bird at night? Really?
Right.
That was unusual. Yeah, so I was like, what is that? And I thought to myself, drone, but I was like, whatever.
Yeah, and it's the one that I hear, it's a very high pitch, and it's the same thing, like every minute or every 3 minutes, it'll be like really high. It's annoying. It's already like 10 o'clock at night, and it's not summer, you know, and even in summer it's the same. It's like they have it on a circuit to, you know, monitor or to beep.
I've noticed here at my house, really late at night, between 2 and 4 a.m., there's a really low vibrational, loud energy being fed into the house.
I hear that in my apartments too.
They changed the meters,
Mm.
the electric meters to the digital ones where they don't have to come read it. They can do it from remotely. They can turn your electric off remotely now and everything like that. Well, they came and changed the meters here locally, because I seen them do it to my house. They changed my meters. They changed it on my garage too, and since then, probably started about fall this year with those low vibrational, a lot of it for a few hours at night. I can hear it. And I have my salt lamps and my copper and my, different crystals and stuff.
Yeah, I sleep with crystals too, and then my beanie hat, that one that Shannon has.
Yeah.
Oh,
That helps block Wi-Fi, but I need to order another one because I accidentally put it in the dryer. And it still works, but it's like I need another one to just double it up because I was not supposed to put in a dryer. You can wash it.
You can wash it, and they have detergent for it that kind of I don't know, maybe it has silver in the detergent or something. But you can buy that from Shield.
Oh, okay. Thank
Shield.
you.
Yeah. I think it's because you have the Shield brand as well, right?
I have LAM, LAM, as in Mary, B as in Bravo. Okay. And it's called LS, like less, LESSEMF.com, LESSEMF.com. But I noticed that yours is black. I have a gray one, but I would like to get a black one. And then they also have caps, like baseball caps, and then
yeah, the one I wear at night is it's kind of like a t-shirt material.
Yeah.
And it's thinner, so it's not so warm, but it's kind of more of a beanie, or so I literally just pull it. I don't really have a large head, so I literally just pull it down, and it comes way down.
Yeah, mine too, and that's good because I can cover my eyes, and especially when I can't sleep, when the sun is coming up, I'm barely going to sleep, so I can put it right here and cover my eyes.
Yes,
and my ears, because you're supposed to cover your ears too.
Yep.
And it's funny though, because it has helped a lot. It's worth it. But I do still hear the high pitched noise when they're sending the energies. Like some could be at 3 a.m, some at 6 a.m, 12 a.m. I'll hear them, and that's when I say I say my mantra out loud when I hear those. Even if I'm in my car driving, I'll say it out loud. Usually I wear a little ear thing on my left side, earbud on my left side when I'm out shopping, not on my right because that's my creative side. And if I
don't wear them on the right either, except for the show. It's the only time.
Your earbud? You don't wear it on your right?
No, I wear it on my left.
My Bluetooth ones, I only do it on the left.
I only wear it on my right. Isn't that funny? It's probably because I'm maybe I don't know why.
Maybe you can hear better with your right. I don't know.
Maybe.
But they always said, I don't know if this is true or not, but when I first awoke and I had a best friend who was there for me, and she said that usually the left side is the 3-letter agencies sending you messages and you can decipher it, and then the right side is more of your, we'll say, angelic or ancestors or your higher self, whatever you want to call yourself, communicating with you on the right side. Then again, it could be just more creative side on the right and more logical on the left or whatever. But I don't know. I just got used to that. And then there are times, and I'll be outside or whatever, listening to music or watching a movie, and it's on my left side because I need to hear.
Yeah.
What's going on also.
Yes, it's very hard to cut it to have things silent where I'm not hearing. It's hard to have silence so that I'm only hearing resonance. That's very hard. So I hear resonance all the time, but then I also hear all the other stuff that's going on. Right. So I always usually have some kind of
white noise
coming out of my speaker, Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
have a nice Bose system. It's small.
Yeah.
Actually, I have it sitting right here. So I have something, some kind of like rhythm going. Like it
I
could be
have
like
to have
just
that
like
too.
drums.
Yeah.
Very, just to kind of not drown it out, but yeah, like a white noise. But I do that while I'm sleeping too because it's
Yeah, I
almost
have to do that too.
drives me mad. It could.
Yeah, because I'm listening to everything. I mean, even if
Yeah.
I still have the beanie hat, but it's like, oh my gosh, leave me alone. Like I need to sleep or myself just getting downloads and stuff and thinking and it's like, wow, I should really get up and write this down, but I'm too dang tired, you know?
Yeah, I think I said this on another podcast. Like I was so excited to get those hats because I
Mhm.
actually and I bought one and I thought and I took it to my dad because I thought, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so great because like I'm gonna be able to like turn it off, like pull it over my ears. No,
Mhm.
totally can still hear everything because you're connected to the earth. Like
Yeah.
that's where you're hearing it from. Because I don't even actually hear it in my ears. I hear it like behind my ears and in my
Yeah.
head. It's almost like so like your head is a satellite dish, your body's a satellite
Yeah,
dish. You're hearing it in your body. It's not even like through your actual like ear, you know?
Mhm.
And so I took it to my dad and I'm like, Dad, try these on. He's like, I still hear everything.
When I was
I
a
will
kid, I
feel
thought it was a ghost singing in the woods. And I couldn't understand what it was saying, but it was musical.
So you
Tone.
started
wow.
like calling in the archangels to cross them over and stuff? You were doing like your light worker job and stuff?
No, just got off the bus from school and was walking up the
Oh.
driveway and I heard it in the woods and I was like, huh, must be a ghost in there. And, I was just a little kid.
Oh, you're a little kid.
Yeah,
Aw.
I was a little kid. I was like 7 or 8. And so I avoided that little patch of woods for a long time because I didn't know what it was. And later on, I went and looked for it.
It's funny where there's different frequencies. Like when I go on my bike ride or whatever, I'll feel different frequencies and I'm like, oh, this is like really dark, or I'll go and it's like, oh, this is a very happy place.
The,
And I
the county
have
where
found
I live is dark.
Mhm.
Yeah, like or usually I think when it's a
Heavy.
shift too dark, that's where I feel the heavy. Or I feel like or
Heavy.
I'll say like it feels thick.
Yeah,
It feels thick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if I go to any other county, it's thinner, it's lighter.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because we also have ley lines where we're supposed to live and our life paths and all that. So my friend was telling me that her ley line is back in another state, and so she's moving back. And I don't want to say where, but
I
it's
can't wait to
interesting.
move.
Well, we don't know who she
Yeah.
is, so
I
Yeah.
can't wait to sell my house and move.
Nice.
I have to wait though.
and ley lines are just the term, the lay of the land.
Right.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
where
how
that
it's
term
where
comes
your right. It's where your frequency is most delighted to live in. Like I used to live in Hollywood for almost a year. I had to come back to Tucson because I couldn't. It was okay at first. It was cool. But then it was like, this is too much. I don't resonate with it. Like I love the beach. I really want to live by the beach, but I had to come home. And this is where I love to live. I don't really want to move anywhere else, you know?
But a ley line is literally like a line that you're going to take a route on. So
Yeah, that too.
so when we hear that term, yeah, it could just mean many things. So it can be a longitudinal line, it can be a latitude line, it can be
So
a
I'm talking about
magnetic line.
the longitude and latitude, like where your frequency may lie the strongest, and
Right.
that's where you're called. Your spirit will tell you where you need to go and move, especially with right now what's going on. A lot of people, well, I told them, okay, if you're gonna move now. If you're gonna start your business, start it now. This was in March, that way when the shit hits the crap hits the fan or whatever, you're already secure. And for the longest time, I'm like, oh, I should move. But I'm like, then when I really thought about it, my heart was just like, no, I'm good here. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm happy.
Right.
What we were talking about earlier.
Speaking of ley
too.
lines, you guys, I was going to bring up magnetic north. You guys know that magnetic north has
yeah,
changed.
but then the poles are
Yes.
shifting, so it's gonna be south.
Yeah.
Right. That's magnetic north. I'm gonna show you. I was gonna show the map.
Oh, nice.
Oh, get out of here, demons!
Return to sender with consciousness attached.
Demons, be gone!
There you go.
I guess I have to say those words. Apparently,
We have the right to be here too.
Is that funny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I was just gonna try to find. So,
Do you know
oh. So I can share this with you all. So it's so funny that you are. It's where we are, where Sean and I are. It's dark where we live, and it's still daylight for you.
Yeah. It's 3:23 p.m. It's still daylight.
Right.
It starts getting dark about 6:15 or so.
Well, it's 5:24 for us, so it's starting to get dark. Can you guys see that? Or not yet? Wait, I got to turn it on.
No.
Here we go.
Do you know where the North Pole is? You're probably thinking here. Well, there are actually two. Earth's geographic North Pole is fixed, but the planet's magnetic North Pole, the north that your compass points to, is not. It moves over time due to magnetic changes in the Earth's core. It was first measured in the Canadian Arctic in 1831. Since then, it's moved about 2,300 kilometers toward Russian Siberia. The U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration and the British Geographical Survey tend to update the location of the magnetic North Pole every 5 years. But this update came early because the pole is traveling faster, more than 55 kilometers per year. Compare that to the year 2000, when its speed was 15 kilometers. If the pole isn't accurately located, the consequences could be disastrous. With smartphones, they use measurements of the Earth's magnetic and gravitational fields to work out the location of the phone. The difference between geographic north and magnetic north might be small in the UK, less than 2 degrees, but in Brazil it's much bigger, greater than 20 degrees. Phone users in those areas could quickly become lost if the software didn't correct for declination. Airport runway names are based on their direction in relation to magnetic north. For example, the airport in Fairbanks, Alaska, renamed a runway 1L19R to 2L20R in 2009. And the U.S. military also uses magnetic north for navigation and parachute drops. So that's why knowing exactly where the magnetic north is actually kind of important.
Kind of a good idea.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why so many people are crashing their boats into the pier in Ludington.
Oh.
Yep. Because the GPS is off.
Because it's moving so fast.
Mm-hmm.
So not only are we dealing with all these solar flares, and if you guys watch the solar weather lady, you guys ever watch her?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I think that's her name. I'll find it and put it on my page.
Look at
I subscribe to her. What?
Her baby.
Oh,
her
this
kitty.
is funny.
Look at that thing.
She likes to be petted all the time.
What a
Really?
pretty girl.
Thank you.
So yeah, they so all those things are changing. The solar weather lady, I think that's her name. And then the polar north, and we're getting hit by these flares, and Lord knows what's going on in the chemtrails. You stack it on one on top of the other. There's all kinds of things going on.
Yeah.
Good times.
And we feel all that.
We feel it.
Yeah. So
certainly. So then we have this convergence coming up on the 21st.
exactly.
What are you feeling?
Just a lot of like high frequency. I can't sleep. I'm always happy. But at the same time, I feel like the stress of the world, you know, the preoccupation, preocupación, worry, fear. I just feel it, you know, from the people around me, the people that I see. Even just trying to go to sleep, it's like, shut up already. I don't want to hear you guys. Everything's gonna be okay. You know, yes, the poles are shifting. Yes, we're gonna get this magnetic flare. Yes, I feel like the happy people are gonna be more happy, and the sad people are gonna be more sad. So you better like get out of that somehow. You know, find yourself. Not that you were lost, but find out who you really are. Love yourself more, forgive, because yeah, it's just, I don't know, I just kind of feel like maybe the mean people will be more mean if they don't change, or this is a time for rebirth and to find out what you really want in life, to find out who you really are, and whose puppet are you? Or are you going to finally step forth in your mission and in your might and say, I am here to do the work, I'm ready, you know?
Right.
So
the Great Convergence is, well, there's lots of prophecy related to it, and people, you know, it could be, people can make prophecy based on biblical things, and they can make it based on astrological things, and they can make it based on the solstice, which is one and the same, or any number of any, you know, like they can, any mix of that. But it's still happening, and we all feel it on some level, right? So, and I think I've heard so many different variations.
scenarios.
Yep. Except there's some commonalities in that everyone is dealing with a level of stress that is changing them, and we're evolving on some level. So that seems to be a common theme, and dealing with shadows, dealing with your own shit, just to like cut to the chase. And how you deal with it will really determine how the 21st goes, apparently.
Right.
Is that what you've been hearing, Sean?
On the 21st, I'm looking forward to 45 minutes after the sun sets, going outside and watching the sky.
You mean the 20th? Because it's supposed to happen at like 6:41 a.m.
6:41. I got to get up in the morning.
Well, you can, yeah. Or you just sleep through it and just see how you wake up and see how things are going.
No, I want to see it.
Well, what are we
cloudy.
What are we looking for? What exactly are we planning?
Well, it depends on what you want to call it. There's supposed to be a star in the sky. It's not actually a star, though. It's the convergence of a couple of celestial bodies.
Well, if I pull them,
it makes it look like the North Star, or the Star of Bethlehem, or there's a lot of names for it.
Well, if I pull in my educational background with young adults, what someone's last day of school career should look like, because I would teach students the best practice, or what the most the best case scenario, which we never really achieved ever, but what their last day of school should look like their first day outside of school. Because my students were cognitively impaired, so they generally had about a 50 IQ. A normal person would have a 100 IQ. That would be normal. And so their last day of school would transition into like their first day of life, so to speak. And so, yeah, on those terms, what would it look like? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe is it going to be like ripping a Band-Aid off and it could look so very different, or maybe it'll just be the same? Is it like having a birthday and, oh, now I'm just a year older and I don't feel any different? Like the day I turned 21 and I wasn't carded.
I want to see the visual phenomena in the sky. That's it. On that day. I just want to be able to go outside and see that visual phenomena. As far as the rest of it goes, I'm going to experience it whether I want to or not. And I don't know why I wouldn't want to. Like, there's a lot of excitement. And there's also a little bit of like fear of the unknown.
Certainly.
That I'm dealing with personally. And I'm struggling with because of everything going on and where things are going to go, which it's not what I had planned. Like I had these plans and now it's changing. And when I have a plan and I'm trying to accomplish a goal, I hate to be interrupted. I don't let go well.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me. So I'm struggling with that myself. Working on it.
What do you think? What do you think, Veronica? What do you think for the Great Convergence?
I think it's well, I just see like a butterfly in a cocoon, and then I see like a full butterfly. Like it's time to let go. Like I see
Yeah.
a lot of people, they're gonna have to let go of either other people or mentalities. A lot of things are gonna change big time. Some are going to be disappointed because they wanted to hold on to that person.
Yeah.
It's time to let go. It's time to grow up. It's time to man up. It's time to take responsibility. You can't lie to yourself anymore. You can try, but you're only going to hurt yourself.
Right.
This energy is huge, man. It's like...
Yeah, and I know that, and that's what I keep telling myself so that I can let go, is that I know that what will be is way better than anything I could have imagined or planned.
So I was just perusing on YouTube real quick, and
apparently
this is also considered the Christmas star.
Yeah, that's it.
So that
You mean a ship like Nibiru?
So apparently that could probably keep some normies asleep.
Right.
Well, it's the star that the wise men used to find Jesus when he was born that year.
Okay, because Jesus was born on December 25th?
No.
Oh.
No, you see, there is
no.
Some of them, like Sean is saying, they're just going to stay with that mentality. They're
Jesus
just going to stay with that.
He had to have been born in
March,
late September. Late September, I think, because in December is too cold. Plus, the time of year where they were collecting was it taxes that they were traveling to pay?
Yeah, but I mean, it's not. Is it cold there?
Yes. Yes.
Are they-
It's too cold. It's too cold to be harvesting, and it's too cold for the flax to be in the field. They have to be in.
That's why I say March, April. That's when I thought he was born.
I mean, didn't he live in the desert? Like, would it be cool?
Cold at night, hot during the
It
day.
gets cold.
Okay.
Well, all I understand from what Sean is saying, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Just checking.
It's just people
I'm
are
just
going to be
asking.
focused on, the Christmas giving and I also see people
That's just a
investing.
ploy to
Yeah,
okay, so what the Mormons, I think it was, what were they when the first ones, like Christopher Columbus and them, when they came over here? Which religion was that?
it was a Catholic, Inquisición.
The
The Inquisition was a Catholic.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so they come in.
But the Vikings were here first.
Yeah.
Right. And you have the other people that were already here that were like pagan and whatnot. And they took and they mixed them up in order to try to get the pagans over to the Catholicism or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So in order to pull them into their beliefs, they mixed the paganism in. And that's why you have Christmas during the Yule, or whatever you want to call it.
Hanukkah also.
Yeah. Yeah, they mix all that stuff together and go.
Yeah.
And it's just a way to bring people in. I don't do Christmas. I don't believe in Christmas.
What?
Yeah.
No, I do not do Christmas.
No,
I
that's just a holiday
don't
that they use to bring in money, to bring in money. And oh my gosh, it's the end of their year. Our year is 21st of December. Their year is in January. So they want to collect all the money for the taxes.
Let's worship gold.
Yeah, let's they want to spend all kinds of money on, gifts that, you're gonna give away to Goodwill the next month anyway. It's they use the people's luge, like especially the ones that you can't give. Like I was feeling really frustrated this year, and I said, look, I don't even want to celebrate Christmas anymore. I don't go to church anymore. I don't believe that Christ is my savior. I'm sorry. I just can't anymore. Once I had my awakening, it's like that's out the door. Okay. So I know who I am now. And it's like I felt so pressured. It's like, I give to my family and my kids during the year. I shouldn't be feeling pressure just because they say you got to give.
Right. Yeah, you should have that spirit of love. All year, and giving and sharing, because what has been given to you, it's not yours. You're supposed to share it, like,
and pay it forward.
I do believe that Jesus is my savior, though.
Well, I think
no, I didn't mean to offend anybody.
You didn't. I'm just saying it because I don't want him to forsake me.
No, it's okay. I was in Catholic religion and then the Christian religion for over 20 years since I was a kid. And once I had my awakening, it's like, nah, no more. I just can't do it. But
I understand.
Everybody's different, and I understand you too. I just know that I can't give my power away anymore because I have my own name. And the Christ that I have in here is my Christ heart. It's crystal. It comes from the Christ consciousness. Correct. But it's me, okay? It's me with the one, and it's not the one here, the AI gods that they worship here. I'm not talking about that. So I got off the track, but the train track, right?
No, I think that's an important thing to bring up, because I think there's there's a disconnect in understanding that. And so when people might hear that, they might not understand why that is being said, or why so many people are moving away, or they might see that as an egotistical move, and it's definitely not. It's absolutely a selfless move, that you understand that exists already inside you, and you don't need that power from outside of you. You don't need to be told that you are good, because you are innately good.
Oh, shoot.
You are innately a divine individual. That's
Yeah,
all.
the problem is
She'll be back.
the problem's in what they're teaching at these churches.
But
Because
that's the scripture that they have.
what you just
You know?
said, I completely agree with. I
And that's
also
what
said that I
Veronica
believe Jesus is my savior. You know what I mean? Like the Christ consciousness and all that. I yes, totally, 100%. And it is within me. It's already inside of me. I was born with that. I don't get it from without. It comes from within.
So you still, for whatever your personal reasons are, attach that to that concept, where Veronica has let that go.
Right.
And that's in an individual choice, you know?
Right. But
So,
I see them as one and the same.
right.
They're both the same.
Where for her, it was probably a boundary thing, because it may have been pushed, where you're like, yeah, you know, like, this is still something that really serves me, and it no longer served her. So
Right.
you see each other's hearts, where sometimes people aren't able to see each other's hearts, and that sucks big time, because that creates walls, not boundaries. Boundaries are healthy. Boundaries can be healthy. Walls, not. So we can talk about the we can talk about the wall on the Mexico border.
Yeah, that boundary.
Yeah, and we should have
was-
Veronica on there since she lives by it, but she said her phone is at 1%.
Yeah, it turned off on her. She had to go plug it in.
Yeah.
I think she plans on being
Yeah.
right back.
So, one of the things, and I don't want to necessarily go through all the trafficking stuff, but I guess, man, we have to go on it.
Well, it's definitely a benefit to the children, because and women and males, the trafficked people, I should say, it cuts down on it big time, because it's harder to get across there.
Well, we are a nation. It's as though we don't have room for people to go. I mean, if you've been to northern Michigan or Dakotas or Montana, there's places where people can go. We have space, you know. So it's not that. It's, we don't want them to come and go missing.
Yeah, well, they also smuggle in. They smuggle in children that have been stolen from other countries. Women, children, guys.
That's what I mean.
They're smuggling them in and selling them here.
That's what I mean. We don't want them to come in. We don't want them to come in and us not know that they exist. Because we don't want them to come across the borders and then we didn't know that they were ever here. Right.
Yeah. Because right. Being here illegally. Right. It puts them in danger. It doesn't help them at all. Not in any way. And the people who, well, I guess it's like something like 30 million.
Really?
Satanists and Luciferians combined together. The two combined together is something like 30 million.
I don't know that I necessarily worry about.
I don't know. Well, I wouldn't worry about there is a difference though. The Luciferian has the bloodline and the other doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah. They're not they're not put with, they don't have the authority. The Satanists don't have the same authority as the Luciferians.
So when you say bloodline,
Blue bloods.
okay.
Yep, blue bloods. I said
So
it.
could that go into? Okay, I don't know if we want to go down that other conversation. Okay, go ahead.
You're
Keep
talking
going.
about like Rockefellers and all that.
Well, yeah, yes, but I mean, I guess was just going to ask, like, what kind of blue? What do you mean by blue blood?
Yeah. Those are the bloodlines that are heavily protected. They're the people in control. They're the ones wanting to take over the world. They're the ones that want to control the people. They see us like commodities or cattle. They feed off our energy.
The loosh.
Yep, exactly. It's a disgust. They live in a completely different
You can say
reality.
that's disgusting.
They are disgusting. Yes. I just, because I had a visual flash in my head
No, it's okay.
of some of their crap and what they do. And it's disgusting. It's repulsive. They torture people. They do some wicked stuff. Very, very, very wicked stuff. Like the Anthony.
You don't have to go into it.
The Anthony Weiner laptop with the film of Hillary and her little friend and the little girl.
I didn't see it. Did you see it? I don't want to. You don't have to say.
I've seen a couple screenshots of it, and I've heard the description of what the people who did see it. I've heard that description, and the people who did see it threw up.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, because of the level of there's no conscience at all in a person that can do that. Like, they actually thrive off of being the hunter, like an animal.
Yep.
They're not, they don't think of themselves as human. They believe that they have the bloodline of Cain. And they believe that the father of Cain was the serpent in the garden, and that Adam was the father of Abel.
And I don't think that the language is an issue there with the serpent. The serpent isn't necessarily the snake, because then you get into the differences between the Kundalini and the serpent. It's just different. So people freak out about that. That's not the same.
Leviathan or whatever the name is.
Say that again.
Leviathan. I can't remember the name. I'm horrible with names. Lucifer. Lucifer's literally in their ancestor.
Okay, but people get freaked out. Like, okay, so the American Medical Association has like the depiction of the Kundalini, right? We have a Kundalini that wraps around that goes dormant and does not activate our birthright to our own self-healing. So you can activate your energetic ability to ignite your self-healing through, those anyway.
Yes, I do.
So if you start mincing the words of snake and serpent, which that is depicted by a snake, it's not the same. It's not one and the same. So let's not get confused. It's not.
Right.
So,
No. Yep. That's a whole different story. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have to remember that language is kind of jacked up. That
I
it
don't
could
have
meant
another
something
word for
different. It could have meant something different when yeah. Anyway,
it. You got to look at it in context.
yes.
Yeah. Don't take it and drag it to another conversation.
Right, but people do. Then they think,
do,
oh,
yeah.
okay, well, I don't want a snake in me. No, what? No, it's not the same thing. No, it's okay. Right.
Well, he's a shapeshifter. He can take on any form he wants.
Well, sure.
I mean, why couldn't he? We all can, can't we?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about self-healing. That's
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, with the Kundalini.
what?
I know. I'm talking about the other one.
No, okay. I just wanted to clarify that for this conversation. If people are working on self-healing and energy centers, and somebody starts talking about the Kundalini and they start diving into that, like,
how'd we get on the subject? The wall?
Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah, I think it was the wall that did it.
Okay.
Yeah, protecting people.
The wall, not Pink Floyd.
Right.
Protecting people. Okay, so anyway, the bloodline of the serpent, something.
Yeah, the blue bloods is the bloodline of Lucifer.
Okay.
That's what I mean by the blue bloods.
I didn't know that he was Lucifer. I didn't realize that he was like a human, an incarnated human at some point.
I just told you he's shapeshifter. Shapeshift.
Okay.
Can take on anything. Okay. So he was an angel, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, wait a minute, this ain't right. So he's like, you're not better than me. I can do better. I can do just as good. Follow me. To simplify it. And so there's a bunch of them, and the story goes that they were cast out of the third heaven. And
the third heaven?
Yeah, there's three.
Okay.
Yep. You never heard that before? Oh.
I'm Lutheran, or was raised Lutheran.
I was too. Yeah. So anyway.
Demons be gone! It works every time.
They were down to the, where was I? The
third heaven.
Oh yeah. The giants. You remember the giants?
The Nephilim?
The Nephilim, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they bred with the humans.
That would be odd.
They bred with the humans. They did. Have you not seen any of the archaeological findings on the giants?
Yeah. I
Where do you
have.
think they came from? It's in the history.
Yeah.
It's in the history. It's in the books. I guess you'd have to read the book about Enoch for that one, which isn't in the Bible, by the way.
I own it. I mean, I don't own it like as in I own it. Like I do have a copy.
You own a copy of it, yeah. It's in there. It's in their book. And the Nephilim mixed with the humans.
Mm-hmm.
So why couldn't Lucifer father a child? The other angels did.
Okay. So
That's what they believe. I'm not saying they
Okay.
believe that. They also worship a freaking box, so whatever.
the worship the box.
A
You mean-
box. A box. I'll show you sometime what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I can't show you right now because I don't have it near me.
Okay. Is this something I can look up because I can share screen?
I can't. I just recently seen one thing on it, so I haven't.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Veronica says she's coming back.
She's
just at
not?
12%. She is.
Okay. Yeah, it's Egyptian. It's Egyptian, and
Okay.
it's a box. So I guess you could try Googling or Egyptian box worship or something. See if it comes up with anything.
Egyptian box worshiper?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just.
Well, we'll see what pops up.
I seen.
Oh,
I think it has to do with the sun and a bunch of other stuff.
is that Bayomet? That's
Yeah.
not a box, but that's like a deity, right? I mean, that's a bad one.
Baphomet. It's a Baphomet.
Baphomet.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
But the
Yep.
Scottish Rite is popping up as well.
It's all mixed up.
Oh, yeah. Tons of inversions. Tons.
Just like the Christian one is all mixed up. The other one's all mixed up too.
Certainly. Absolutely.
It's
Without a
just
doubt.
Mhm. Because if the only
Is
reason
that-
I was watching and learning about it is because in order to overcome
Scot-
something
I'm
or
sorry.
beat it, you have to understand it.
Right, exactly. You do. And that's why like I have like a crazy library. But the Scottish Rite is part of the Masonic order. Or
Masonic. Well, the Masons worship the box.
Oh. Well, if
They're
in
the
that
ones that worship the box.
well, in that case, hang on a second.
Yeah, they're part of it. Some of them don't realize what they're doing.
No. The guys that are like, doing the boot collection, they don't.
They don't realize it.
The Book of Enoch.
Beautiful.
And then I have, so somebody recommended this book to me, and then I bought it, and I'm like, wait a minute, was this approved by the Masonic Temple? And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, then why would I want it? But I do have it. It's called the Hiram Key. Okay.
Nice.
So I'm looking up a box of some sort.
Yeah, well, they have the Baphomet usually sitting on top of it. The ones that have the Baphomet, some of them have
Just
other things sitting on top of it, but there's always a box involved.
Oh, I was about to say they're probably not going to actually talk about it because it was approved by them. So,
right, exactly.
But they do. They actually do talk about it.
Well, if you
on one page, apparently,
there's a lot of grids in our government, like the way things are set up. I'm talking about the actual structures the Masonic structures.
Mm-hmm.
They're set up as grids in a completely different form of witchcraft, like the black craft, if you want to go black-white to describe it. Like black hat, white hat.
Oh, because they were talking about the black and white, like all those symbols that are turning up recently on all kinds of. I don't watch mainstream media or anything that would show me that kind of stuff, but I guess there's all kinds of black and white tiles and like things that are coming out in music videos and that sort of thing, like things that are depicting things that are black and white is a good indication of those things. Veronica is saying that she is not going to come back on, so she'll catch us the next time.
I already knew it.
Oh, you said that. Okay.
No, I just knew it.
So yes, they do say a little bit about. I have a hard time saying that name, the B word, Bahamut. And they reference Egyptian. Where was I on this? Egyptian kings and the antecedents to Templars and Freemasonry. A major piece of evidence came to light thanks to another member of the original Dead Sea Scrolls team and a Nobel Peace Prize nominee, and it's embedded in a chapter. So whatever they're referring to, and it just references that. So again, approved by the Masons, so they're only going to let you know what they want you to know. Right.
Yeah.
But there's some interesting things in there, and they talk about the Roslin Church in Scotland, which, all this stuff has already been released based on people's curiosity. The first degree, like, when people take their initiation, there's been enough people that have taken initiation to the Freemasonry that the word has gotten out that it's weird, and what it symbolizes. So they let that go. So, it's just weird.
One of my friends,
if you can see that picture. So they publish some stuff.
One of my friends has families who were initiated into that.
Yeah. And,
and he was invited to be.
And a side of my family on my dad is Scottish. And, so there's several, and actually on the other side, there's several members that are Scottish, but they do things that are charitable. So they're not.
He declined because of the oath.
They're sworn to secrecy, but they think it's a drinking club. Or
yeah,
so
I don't know. When they first start out, they have no idea whether it's a good or a bad thing. They probably think it is good.
But I'll tell you, I went to my cousin's wedding at the Masonic Temple in Detroit, and there's a lot more going on there than just playing cards and drinking.
Oh yeah.
You don't go through all that to just do that. Come on. Really? No.
Right.
It just, and that was a long time ago too that I went there. So if people can go and visit someplace like that and just look at the symbolism and walk around and who goes through all that process to put all those things on the wall and
yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Definitely not.
Seems kind of weird.
It does. It is. It's something else. Yeah. I think I recently shared something publicly on my Facebook page. And
Yeah.
well, I share all kinds of stuff, informative stuff, and like anybody could go there and look at it and
Mhm.
dig through it and see what's there, and then do their own research if it interests them, or if it scares them, or it makes them feel excited. Do your own research, definitely,
Certainly.
but the awareness, it can be brought to your awareness.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of political stuff to sift through too, though. So it's like scroll.
Are you talking about stuff on the Luciferian bloodlines? Is that what you mean?
Well, that's all in there. But no, that's not what I mean.
Somebody's home.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mute it because I was talking.
It's okay.
I muted it last time you came
Yeah.
on.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. So, we should probably start wrapping it up and calling it a night. I think we've been on for a couple hours.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Okay. So this was lovely. I liked not really having a big subject to kind of like really dive into. We just kind of free formed. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Thank you. So we'll take a break next week. Yes. Because it'll be New Year's Eve. And then the following week will be oh my goodness, I'm going in my calendar here and I'm getting lost in it. Is the following week
next week's Christmas, and then it's New Year's.
And then it's New Year's, so we'll be on break for 2 weeks. Or we could do one in the interim. We could just talk to the girls, but we'll be back on Monday on the 21st on the Convergence. Yes.
Okay. Yep.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
So, so we will see each other in between. So.
Oh yeah.
So good night. It's only 6, but. And I'll try to fix our little jingle. What a bummer. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, that it didn't. Yeah. Don't know why it didn't work.
Yeah, it's weird. But anyway.
Oh well.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a good one. Talk to you later. I'll try to play it at the end here.
Okay.
Let's see if it works. Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.